HiRez.io. Hey, welcome again to the Bonnie and Shai show. I'm Bonnie. No, sorry, I'm Shai.
Hi, I'm Bonnie.
Yeah, this is Bonnie, and we're happy to have you here. We have a few viewers, okay, unlike last time where I started randomly, just started streaming live and without any idea of who will join or not. And in the end, like after like 10 minutes, we had people joining because I tweeted about it. Let me do that again. Let me retweet, quote tweet. It's happening now. Okay. So maybe we'll have more people joining. If you're here and seeing everything, write in the chat. I see Nuno, I see Manuel. So Manuel, first of all, great to see you again. You were, I think, the first one who, responded to the chat. So is it Manuel or is it your first name or your last name? Okay, it's important, so I will know how to call you. We have Carlos. Hey Carlos, what's up? Great, we have a lot of good people here with us. And last name, so Ruarly. Let me know if I'm saying it correctly. Ruarly. Maybe probably with my accent, it's not like I'm butchering everything, but okay, we'll
It's Ruarly, right? Right? I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking.
Buddy, don't butcher. I butchered it enough, okay? Don't add to the mix. Anyway, sorry about that. Wait, last name? Now you got me confused. So, Manuel is the first name. No, last name. Nope. Anyway, that's cool. Okay, we'll continue. Anyway, good to see you again. I prepared a short agenda. I will try to keep it, this live stream, short. Maybe we'll do it longer as time progresses. I'm not. This is our second episode, me and Bonnie. Like we're not really sure what we're doing now, and think will go really bad. But that's part of what I wanted to talk about today. So first, a few updates. As I told you last week, I'm going to. So first, if you see it, hit like and subscribe and push the. I don't know if it's a thing like the bell notification, like to know about like whenever I post another video. As I told you, I'm going to ng-conf and we're planning like a lot of stuff. Me and Bonnie will be there as well. Like it's a surprise, but I think everyone in the conference will see a Bonnie surprise in their bag, conference bag. I don't know how to say, like, the bag that you get with all the swag and stuff, the swag bag. So yeah, that's gonna be internet, don't tell anyone. So that could be that will be great because this year I'm sponsoring the conference with testangular.com, which is just launched. All the courses that previously was unavailable to purchase directly, now they are available, so that's great. So check it out if you're an Angular developer that want to have better confidence about your code quality and learn like how to raise the confidence level and also become more I know the feeling that I have about testing is, for me at least, I try to have that level of confidence in order to feel like a professional. Like I always, and I will talk about it, I always like go from, oh my God, I don't know anything, I'm not confident at all, okay, about what's going to happen and if my change is good or not. And testing is just one tool, okay? There are other tools, but just one tool or automation that helps me get some sense of feeling about like more confidence about what I'm doing. So I like the umbrella term for that, for this type of feeling for me is like to become a more professional developer, and that's my aspiration. I think it's something that it's not you know, it's always a journey that we take towards becoming more professional. So it's not like an end result, you are a professional, you know everything you need to know, but it's like collecting the right tools along the way that, you know, help you become that. So I'm talking a lot about it, and that's why I'm passionate about you know, testing as a way to get there. Okay, so this year I'm sponsoring it. That's why people will get a nice swag, and you know, I'll also do a crazy talk, like I mentioned last week. I, you know, finished preparing the stuff. I still have a few more minutes to shave of the, you know, the time of the of the talk or show. So I will do that on the plane on the way. And what I want to do this year, ooh, we have the avocado joining. Long time ago, nice. Hey, what's up, my friend? Long time, we spoke like many years ago. So good to see you here. And we have B3 off, and you're here for Qwik. Yeah, I will talk about Qwik in a minute. So this year, what I want to do, and I want to start doing, and I promise myself I will do for years now, is to start documenting the behind the scenes of what I'm doing. Because I do a lot of crazy things, and now that COVID is mostly over until the next COVID, I want to take advantage of the opportunity to start, you know, going to conferences again and meeting real people and not just on the internet. And I want to start documenting the behind the scenes, like, you know, the way there, the conversations, the excitement, the failures, the behind the scenes, standing behind, like, you know, before the show begins and everybody excited, and, you know, walking up on the stage and showing like clips of what you don't see when you watch a live stream of a talk or a conference, or, you know, all the atmosphere that a conference like ng-conf brings to the table. Because ng-conf is, I think, on my list, is one of the best conferences ever, okay? Regardless if you're an Angular developer or web developer, like the experience and the amount of thought that goes into making sure the experience for the attendees is so great, is that when you come there, you understand and you don't want to, you know, leave, and you can't wait for next year. So that's part of my excitement as well. The first time I was there was 2015, and I actually documented all the years that I've been there. I documented the behind the scenes and everything, and I always told myself that I will like create vlogs and edit it afterwards. And of course, once I came back, life happened and I just didn't get to it. So I have lots of footage of the behind the scenes, and maybe I will do them, like I will edit them at one point, or I'll give it to an editor, and I will release with commentary or something like that of like all the crazy talks that I did over the years. Anyway, so this year I want to document it, but instead of waiting until I will get back and edit and all that stuff, I want to do like live updates via TikTok. Yeah, I'm 13. Okay, like, let's say Okay. So yeah, so I'm 13, like this llama, or alpaca, whatever that was, but I realized that TikTok has a great editing experience, and that was like when I tried Instagram and stories and all that stuff. I was kind of I don't know, didn't find myself like editing stuff there. You cannot really edit stuff, so I wanted to try like this TikTok thing, and I connected it to the Instagram account. So if you have TikTok, search for HiRez.io and you find me there. And also if you have Instagram, I will post there as well. So you will see all the behind the scenes and everything that I'm doing. I will try to do it like daily, just to get used to update more, because I will talk about it. I always like things to be perfect, and it just they never happen. So that's why I'm started to do things not perfect, like this stream, right? This is not perfect. I didn't plan it. I don't know what will happen next. I don't know who is here. Oh, Steven. Nice. Steven Cooper is in the house. What's up, buddy?
Hey, everybody. I'm here as well.
Yeah, Bonnie. You said, yeah. So, yeah, Bonnie is here as well, and we'll try to keep it clean this time, and not like last time in our family dinner.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, later. So, so that was the update about that, and Qwik. Okay, let's talk about Qwik. We have people here for Qwik, which is exciting. I will talk about that, and the last topic will be about the imposter syndrome, which is an interesting topic for me specifically. So Qwik. Okay, Qwik, to anyone who doesn't know it yet, is a framework created by Mishko Hevery, the creator of AngularJS and later Angular, and its whole purpose is to take any scale, any JavaScript app on any scale, whether it's a small one, a big enterprise one, and to have the loading experience of it be instant. Okay, and basically when you hear about it, it's like, okay, everybody is like talking about speed, and the trend. If you look at the trends of where we are going, we're going towards a place of instant, instant on or instant, because the patience level get much lower in each year with each generation, and everybody expects, like user expects, like things to be snappy and instant. And that's one of the trends that we see things are going to, especially like in e-commerce websites. It's a no-brainer, right? We have like every 100 milliseconds is like millions of dollars, on every like delay of 100 milliseconds or half a second or something like that people go, and the business loses money. But even for smaller website, which don't have lots and lots of traffic, Google started penalizing on performance in terms of SEO. So if you take the same two companies that are search engine facing, and they have the same SEO agency that gives them the best keywords and all content and all that stuff, and one of them is performing better than the other in terms of performance and loading time and time to interactive and all the core web vital metrics, the company that performs better, or their website or their web app, will win. Okay, will be ranked higher. So that's everything is going towards this trend. We can see it also in the rise of server-side rendered apps, with like going back from only server-side, then only client-side, and then in I think it was 2016, where Next.js was launched. And also we had Angular Universal, and we had like other project that just says, hey, instead of rendering everything on the client side, let's render it in Node on the server side, like run the app as if we were using the DOM, and we'll get the rendered template and we'll just ship it as HTML. And then on the client side, we'll do some magic or hackery to rewire everything, or naively, if we're going like the naive way, just trash it and re-render everything and just replace it. And rewiring and all that stuff is called hydration, and that is a key ingredient in order to be able to do this magic. But that proven to be great for performance, much better than downloading a large client-side only app to the user, which if you take mobile into consideration, it could take like sometimes like 20 seconds to load a website. I worked on websites like that are client side like client facing or user facing, not just B2B but B2C, which took lots and lots and lots of time to load just because of JavaScript. And so we can see the trends, like Next.js took off, and Next, and Remix now, and all the others. We have frameworks like Astro and Marco and Solid Start now, and lots of frameworks that are tackling this problem. And we can see a shift towards apps that are not only client side, they're both like server and client side, and on the edge and all that stuff. So things are going to be this way. When I look into the future, I look at 2 years from now, this will be a more standard way to do things. And of course it will, my prediction that it will start from the B2C clients or the search engine facing apps, and this new way of doing things opens up lots of other technological advancements that will also affect all the B2B applications as well. Just like when we had like server-side render only, like PHP or ASP.NET or something like that. And then I remember I was there when the shift happened towards like we called it back then, like I don't know if you guys remember it, but we used to call it fat client, which is not appropriate now, okay? But people used to call it because it was like a thin client, right? A thin layer of JavaScript, just like jQuery. Something sprinkles some jQuery on top of like the fully server-side rendered app, like on Ruby or Ruby on Rails and such. And then it moved, like the logic moved to the client side. We had like a fat client. And again, I said it 3 times. Sue me. Anyway, so that was let's see if I have yeah.
Hey, what's up? Steven, I am someone else. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Anyway, so someone else for a moment. Yeah, it is. Bonnie is a real person. Anyway, so getting back to the discussion, we see the trend. So that's how I see it. Now, Qwik, when it first started, I think like 2 years ago or something like that, like 1.5 years ago, something like that, 1.5 years ago. I remember talking with Mishko after, just before he left the Angular team, or just after something along like, that time, around that time. And we talked about, and he showed me a prototype of this thing, which was back then called Qt instead of Qwik. And the main idea that he showed me there was, taking the app on the server side, okay, instead of just sending out the HTML, send both the HTML and the state of the app, serialized inside of HTML, send to the client, and just continue where you left off, instead of going through all the hydration and the magic of rewiring everything. And I remember back then thinking, that's a really clever idea. Like, I didn't see a lot of people trying to tackle the problem by using HTML first, like only HTML. We had a couple of solutions, but I didn't see anything quite like that. Now, it was a prototype back then, still like not, without a lot of outside feedback. So the developer experience wasn't, that convenient back then when it started. But Mishko, who joined Builder, and created a great team, a great core team around this technology with Adam, Bradley, and Manu from the Ionic team and Stencil team, which are brilliant people. Okay, they are like these three created magic and turned this great idea into a very powerful framework, which I wasn't like really, I didn't realize what was from the outside. You look at it and the syntax looks like React because it's JSX, and for me I wasn't aware about like all the behind the scenes of the technology and why it is such a interesting technology, until I sat down again with Mishko and we dug deeper into how it works. And and then we had a conversation about, like, I realized like, oh, it clicked to me, where I went like, oh, this is totally different from anything else out there. That's kind of great. That's kind of like, that's for, it's especially for people like me who always like, curious about innovations and, what's coming, what's new, and what like great like solution, and that you don't think about it until you see it and you're like, oh yeah, that's brilliant. So to me it was like, oh my god, that's a great solution. And I could see like merging it with the trend that I'm seeing, where things are going. I realized that Qwik is, to me back then, was opening up a new type of way or new generation of web apps, because it is completely different from the ground up from anything else that that I saw on the web framework land. And these new generations of web apps, I started to think, what will be a good name for those? And the only thing that came to mind was instant web apps, or something like that. And you can argue about the name, if it's a great name or not, because is it like apps you create like instantly, or they're like loading instantly? There's the confusion. But still, we need to find a name. If you have suggestions, and see Steven asking, so Arlie. Okay, you will need to record your name and send me via WhatsApp. But I will call you Manuel for now. So there's no hydration anymore in Qwik, or is it hydration step down on the server side with Qwik? So basically how Qwik works is it render the page, let's say, okay, on the like the root component on the server. It creates all the template, and it knows how to serialize all the potential or all the states. And the innovative thing about it is that it knows how to serialize all the closures of the app. So when it serializes it, it's like pausing on the server, just like a virtual machine. Mishko had this brilliant metaphor about like how VMs, you pause it and you can like send it to another computer and just like resume it. So that's the same idea here. So you can pause your application on any state, okay, and then resume it on a different tab on your mobile, from the server to the client. So this is basically what happens. And then when you resume it, it means like whatever is rendered, that's it. You don't go through hydration. There's zero hydration on the client side. And the way it works on the server when it's serialized is that it basically encodes all the information, important information, on the HTML tags themselves, like the elements. So each element, for example, which has an on-click tag, it knows it has a pointer. And this pointer gets loaded by a tiny piece of JavaScript called the Qwik loader, which just like a one event listener on the root element of the DOM, that knows how to handle an event and just search for the right element on the DOM and reads its tags. So if it sees like, oh, whenever someone clicks on this element, go to this JavaScript. And what is this JavaScript? This JavaScript is just like a tiny piece of code that is the handler of the click. So it could be like a tiny piece of code or a giant piece of code, depending on how much you need to load. And then I asked like, okay, so that's basically lazy loading on a function level. And he said, yes. So isn't it going to be like lots of waiting time whenever you do something like an event? And then Mishko said, no, but you can basically prefetch all of the potential event handlers that you need on the page, and that way you get zero hydration and zero latency whenever the users start to load stuff. And it could be even smarter by analyzing the patterns, or loading things in a smarter order. So I kept like peeling the onion and seeing more and more potential in this framework. And then we talked about Mishko and I have been talking about for a lot of years of he coming to Israel to to visit and such. And all of a sudden he was like, hey, you want me to come visit Israel? Because I told him about all what I've been doing and all this stuff, the courses and such. And we talked about like recording a course about Qwik and maybe doing a workshop. So we came to Israel in June and we did a workshop together, and it was very successful. And we'll talk about that, on a different stream. But basically, after that experience, I started getting more and more into Qwik, and actually joined the team as a outside contributor. But I'm helping with building the community and getting people and sharing my excitement, basically, because I really believe that this marks a new way of doing things in JavaScript land, which, if you think about it, at least in the popular solutions, we didn't have a lot of innovation happening in the past, 10 years. It was mainly the main problems that we had were state management, okay, that we tackled, and developer experience. But we didn't have like a paradigm shift, and I feel this is a paradigm shift. So I promise to talk a little bit about Qwik, and I'm so excited about it. I have lots and lots of knowledge to share. That's why I wanted to create a different YouTube channel about Qwik. And thinking of, like, the name probably be Quikifiers, and then we'll have like maybe a weekly show where we'll take a topic and talk about it and share some news. So if you want to join the community, I open up an index page where you can see all the channels. It's in qwikcommunity.com. Let me write it here, and you can join the Discord, and you can join Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever you prefer, and the weekly newsletter that we're going to send the first one tomorrow, which is called Quickly. Weekly, quickly. Anyway, so Steven says, do you think it's going to become mainstream or just used for niche use cases? Good question, Steven. Yeah, I'm Qwik new advocate. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, it's not official yet, but maybe in the future. So do I think it's going to be mainstream? I think that the way I predict it to be, I think that the early adopters for it will be e-commerce, especially during the beta time and such, and innovators like me and you guys, okay, who are curious about new frameworks and new innovations and stuff, who want to try it out, want to share the excitement, go deeper, understanding the technology and such. And I don't see it as a mainstream replacement to React or Vue or Angular, or for like in terms of popularity and such for the next year to even maybe 2 years, something like that. But I do feel that this has the potential to become the next mainstream web framework of this new generation. So there's a shift going on, okay? And we have lots of cool, exciting frameworks. Like Solid is a cool, exciting framework. Svelte is doing great things, and others like that are innovators in this field of performance and caring about performance. And also React several years ago, with the server components and suspense and streaming and all that stuff. They also started investigating this area because this is where things are going. So I do see a huge potential for Qwik to become mainstream on this new generation of web apps, of zero JavaScript onload and such. What will make it mainstream will be a good developer experience, which the team cares about a lot, and they're doing changes every day to make sure that it's the best developer experience that can be, and also a strong community behind it, and a friendly and loving community, we know from, at least I know from Angular. So my goal for the Qwik community to be very friendly and loving and supporting, and really good people wanting to learn more together and help each other and do cool stuff together in a new technology. So I feel that the combination of these things and the way things are going trend-wise will make it gives like, you know, a high probability that this will become mainstream. Now, who the hell knows, right? Like things like could go perfect and all of a sudden, you know,
City.
the shit hits the fan or the wind. Okay. So Nuno says quick and fast. DX is definitely a key part. Steven says, right. I totally agree. And that's why I also join and I'm helping with like merging PRs and such. On the doc side, I think documentation is a really, you know, important part of it. We'll be releasing the Qwik course, a quick introduction soon after I will come back from ng-conf. So that will be nice. And that's basically it. So I thought about doing a stream on HiRez, but I want to keep HiRez like a meta, you know, maybe channel. And like I told you last time, maybe to open up new things on or new channels, one for Qwik and one for test effective. Okay, and talking about testing and such. Cool. So that's about Qwik. And the last part that I want to maybe tackle is fighting perfectionism and imposter syndrome. I wrote a blog post about fighting perfectionism. I think it was my first Medium blog post about the topic. It's something that I struggle a lot with because of my personality type, basically. I have a personality type who likes to do lots of things all at once, to learn lots of things all at once, and I have this illusion in my head that I can actually create everything I want to create with the time that I have, which is impossible, right? So
Yeah, I always tell you that, and you don't listen to me.
I know, Bonnie. I started listening to you, you know, lately more. So, and that's like my personality type has this thing where I keep like, because I like to, you know, do lots of things and I want to do them super well. It's hard to do, you know, everything and to become an expert on everything that you want to become an expert on, right? You want to, you know, and it's not necessarily just tech. It's like, you know, healthy food or like, you know, other stuff for, you know, education for kids, like, you know, Montessori or something like that for my kids. All the stuff that, you know, I want to deal with, and it's hard. It's hard, and it's like, you know, wearing, and it's like I'm fighting with myself about it, and that's why, you know, sometimes I'm not releasing, you know, stuff that I have that could potentially help, you know, lots of people in terms of education, because it's just, I feel that it's not good enough to be released. And, you know, like a course is not like super polished yet, so I'm not releasing it. Or, you know, I'm not like a super expert on a certain topic, so I cannot like teach it yet. And that was my problem, I think, over the years, especially like with, for example, like let's take Angular 2. So Angular 2, I was one of, I think, the first people who created videos about Angular 2 back in like the beginning of the end of 2014. Okay, 2 years before it got released. Okay, and I didn't like, you know, I do all of my plans back then, because I always thought that, wait, I need to wait to build like large scale application with it before I start like creating courses about it, just to, you know, speak from real life experience and not just like citing the documentation. And although that could have helped a lot of people who don't like to read documentation, like myself, I much prefer seeing a video and not reading. Okay, or combining it at least. So lately I've been thinking about doing something a bit different. I think, combining my curiosity and my ability to, go deep into topics and to learn them quickly, at least, combining with my experience in the field of, seeing patterns and mixing and matching, or seeing like, oh, this is like this, this new framework, this part is like this part in this framework or something like that. And my other ability of making it, or trying to make it simpler, puts me in a position where maybe I can combine these qualities without feeling like an imposter. Okay, like, if I teach about like a framework like Qwik, for example, which is brand new, okay, and it's, not a lot of people still know everything there is to know about it, and that's part of what makes it exciting for me to know, or to learn, because I feel like, it's a new world to learn, and when I am excited about it, I want to share this excitement and share like the things that I'm learning, and documenting the process. That's why I thought about like, TikTok or something like that, to just like, oh, I have a how moment, I want to do it real quick, yeah, it doesn't stop, and just sharing it, going like putting out there, instead of like waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect time, the perfect like editing, the perfect stuff, and just to produce more content like this and make it maybe more interesting, or more like fun or something like that.
Everybody loves a good foot massage. The opossum is no exception.
Right. Right, Bonnie?
Yeah, I love it when you do a foot massage to me.
Yeah. So just taking that and maybe start to produce more content, which I put on the reporter hat, and not the maybe the super expert who does it for like 10 years. Like I've been doing web development for a long time, but I love the new stuff. Okay, and the new stuff, I'm not I don't have 10 years of experience with Qwik, or with Solid, or with other cool technology. So just putting on the reporter hat and trying to simplify things the way I see it, because I always think like a third grader. That's how I understand stuff. Like, instead of like complicated words and terms, I always like try to think, okay, what will be the easiest way to describe this? And if you ever watch my courses, you always know that I pick the stupidest like terms. For example, in the smoke testing course that I like, my last course that I did, I wanted like 3 P's for how to know what to create in a smoke test, something like that. So it was, I think it was product was one of them, the pest interruption factor was another, and common sense, which I didn't have another a third P, so I just called it common sense. Anyway, so I like to simplify things, or I try at least, and to make it very like digestible and fun and easygoing, because sometimes it could get very boring. So looking ahead and thinking ahead, or into the near future, I'm thinking about like starting to do or create more content, free and paid, with this in mind. Okay. You see, Anders, hello, what's up, buddy? So let me know what you think. This is like fighting my tendencies, at least, to wait for the perfect moment, and just going for it, because life is short, and there is I think 8 years has passed since I started like thinking about creating content on YouTube and sharing like this crazy way of presenting knowledge. And for example, this I wouldn't have done, like this live stream, because I think it's boring. I think like I'm just a talking head, and it's not with all the like the effects. For example, let's see, like this, or like okay, every time I'll continue, and I have lots of surprises that I will say for the some for the courses and all that stuff. But let's say go back. Okay. So Steven says, still a lot of value in what you call reporting. So many things I've learned are not from the experts. Right. And I agree. Like I learned a lot of stuff from people who just like, package it in a video form instead of or at least went through the trouble of learning the documentation, figuring out how to simplify things, and actually coming up and, with examples and fighting with like, the unknowns, and researching and talking with, core team members, or like, other community members, and doing all that work. And then what you see is the end result. Sometimes you run into, people who just like try to, I don't know, make a quick buck, let's say, right? And just, learn, or just reading the documentation as is, or something like that, which also can, but a screen reader can do that as well, right? But, all of I think the successful people, usually it takes time and dedication and hard work in order to produce quality content. And I created a system now that allows me to, I'm not sharing yet the screen and all the fun, cool things I can do, but I created a system that allows me to edit all of the crazy stuff that I used to do, like took me 3 months to do, live. So I probably will showcase it once I will start coding and stuff like that. Anyway, hey Giorgio, what's up, buddy? You still awake? So Giorgio is one of the like the more active Qwik community members, and he actually created the first e-commerce demo of an e-commerce platform called Venture, if I'm saying the name correctly, and he showcased how using QwikCity, which is the meta framework of Qwik, just like Next or Nux or Remix, or like the meta framework on top of the Qwik framework that allows you to build websites with menus and routing and multi-page apps. He showcased how it can be done with Qwik, and now recently he added like streaming, because the Qwik core team added streaming capabilities, so you could load the page and just stream parts of it, which is an ancient technology that was always there in HTML, but no one really used it. Okay, but this is part of this new world. Like streaming is becoming a standard in terms of how we develop web apps, and will be, I feel, just a standard thing we will wrap components with, like, I want this to be streamed, like in a chunk together or something like that. And think about the experience of like getting instant load, like above the fold content, and everything just starts streaming below, even if you don't see it, if you haven't scrolled to it yet, right? So you don't pay nothing, like users are paying in waiting for the entire page to load and render. So there are a lot of cool innovations there. So Giorgio, thank you, by the way, for creating, and for all of us. This is also hard work, like doing the research, tackling like hard problems and such. And is one of the nicest people you will get to know. So hey, great to have you joining us. So yeah, that's the, that's what I wanted to talk about in 20 minutes. Ah, 50 minutes live stream. But that's the format that I love. I love the
Hey, you love apples as well.
right, Bonnie. I love apples, but I also love long format, like, because I like to talk a lot. What can I do?
Hey, you can do anything.
I know, right? So yeah, let me know what you think. Write me in the comment, okay? By the way, which other content you would like to see on the shorter form, like, the TikToks and such. If you want me to talk about, tips or stuff like that, or stuff that you're curious about, besides the behind the scenes stuff. So I would love to hear it here in the chat or in the comments. To those of you who probably watch this tomorrow and, just on 2x, like I like to do. So yeah. So Manuel says, I started using Sonar based on your Medium posts. Looking forward to discover all the future topics you'll share. Qwik seems great, by the way. Yeah, first of all, thanks. I agree about Qwik, and using Sonar base. So explain what Sonar based on your Medium post. What is Sonar based on my Medium post? Probably something of Medium. I stopped using Medium a couple of years ago, so I'm not sure what it is. So Giorgio, you're welcome. Andres, I think would be great first steps to work with Qwik. Yeah, great first steps. That's oh, right. Sonar code quality checks. I thought it was something that I don't know about the Medium platform. Because they have like a subscription, and I think it was called something similar or something like that. So I thought it was like on the Medium. Anyway, okay, cool. So yeah, so great first steps on Qwik with Qwik will be amazing. Yeah, after a while we'll come back from ng-conf. I could focus more about Qwik. I still have 2 more courses to finish on the testing side, but I have the Qwik course as well, so it will be a lot of hard work. And in October, I'm flying to Poland to give 2 talks, one about Angular testing and the other one is about Qwik. So this will be my first international talk about Qwik, which might be, so Mishko is flying as well and also going to talk about Qwik, so it will be a nice maybe collaboration. We're still talking about, what we're going to do there in terms of like, the talks themselves, but I'm planning on, doing something crazy as I like to do.
Sun.
Okay, no, I always. Anyway, ignore. Let's do this. Right, this will be my talk. Yeah, Andres, you're coming to ng-conf. Amazing. Okay, lots of good people are coming to ng-conf this year. I can't wait to meet you all, in a couple of days. Okay, so I'll try to keep it under 1 hour, and because I still have lots of work to prepare for ng-conf and all the courses. So check me out on TikTok with my dancing videos. No, HiRez.io there, or Shai HiRez or something like that. And on Instagram, I would probably, like, on Instagram it would be just a repost of what I do on TikTok. And check out testangular.com if you're into testing Angular. I'm doing now an update to all of the initial courses to bring them up to date with the current technologies. And yeah, and great to have you all. Oh, Steven also coming. Awesome. Yeah, we have lots of cool people joining ng-conf. So give me a, once you're there, like you have a hug. I have a hug with your name on it. Okay, under the code of conduct. Don't worry, just a hug. Not like in 2016 where I kissed people on the cheek just for the selfie, so I could create like a laughing video, which probably today wouldn't be a great idea to do. Times have changed. Now consider a break of the code of conduct. I don't know why. I'm not sure why. Anyway, but it was like just this is how we do. This is the hug and kiss, right? Yeah, Steven. Okay, so yeah, okay, that's it. I think we are done. I talked about too much more than I plan on doing or talking about, but yeah, that's part of not being perfect, huh? But I appreciate all the feedback, and come and say hello when you're in ng-conf, and check out the behind the scenes, all the stuff. And I probably won't do a live stream next week, but I'll probably do it a week after. So in 2 weeks. So see you in 2 weeks, and take care. Bye bye. Bonnie, say bye.
Bye, everyone. I love you all. We'll see you at ng-conf and the videos.
Yeah. Bye. Okay. How do I stop this thing? What am I doing? Like push. No, this is not the correct way to. How do I stop it? Okay, I think I will again. I will restart Windows. How do I do that?